Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It is Sunday, January 19 of 2025, and it is currently 6:09 a.m. here on the East Coast of the United States of America. And we are here for our Through the Bible in 1 Year reading. Today's reading is from Isaiah chapters 12 through 17. So if you have your Bible there, grab it so that you can read along. If for whatever reason you do not have a Bible, you are unable to get one for yourself, please let us know. You can private message us. We will make arrangements to get a Bible to you. For now, let's just take a moment to still ourselves before the Lord and prepare our hearts, our minds, our souls, and our bodies to come into His presence and to hear His word. Start by just taking a deep breath. And as you exhale, bring your body to a place of complete stillness, where there's no extraneous movement, no wriggling, no fidgeting. Allow your breathing to become deeper and slower. Your heart rate to slow. Stillness in your body so that there's nothing that will distract you from entering into His presence. And while you're focused on stilling your body, take this opportunity to present your body to Him as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable in the Beloved. This is where our daily service of worship begins. Well, the stillness in your body to inform the rest of you that it's time to become still. To still your thoughts. Take your thoughts captive. Thoughts of the future. Thoughts of the past. And thoughts in the moment that would distract you from His presence. Gather all of those thoughts up and place them in His hands, in the hands of Yahweh. And everything that's weighing upon your heart, that's vying for emotional space in you, the positive and the negative, gather them all up also and place them in His hands, in the hands of Him who is able to care for what concerns you, for Him who is at work on your behalf, even when you're sleeping. and enter into his presence with praise and thanksgiving on your lips and awe and wonder in your heart as you seek his face, as you listen for his voice, as you listen for the beat of his heart. And from this place of his presence, where there is joy forevermore, let's enter into his presence and hear the word of Yahweh. Isaiah chapters 12 through 17. Then you will say in that day, I will give thanks to you, O Yahweh. For although you were angry with me, your anger is turned away, and you comfort me. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not dread. For Yahweh himself is my strength and my song, and he has become my salvation. Therefore you will joyously draw water from the springs of salvation, and in that day you will say, give thanks to Yahweh. Call on his name, make known his deeds among the peoples. Make them remember that his name is exalted. Praise Yahweh in song, for he has done majestic things. Let this be known throughout the earth. Cry aloud and shout for joy, O inhabitant of Zion, for great in your midst is the Holy One of Israel. Amen. The oracle concerning Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos beheld. Lift up a standard on the bare hill, heighten your voice at them, wave the hand that they may enter the doors of the nobles. I have commanded my set apart ones. I have commanded my mighty warriors, my proudly exulting ones, to execute my anger. A sound of tumult on the mountains, like that of many people. A sound of rumbling of the kingdoms, of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts is mustering the host for battle. They are coming from a far country, from the end of the sky, Yahweh and his instruments of indignation, to wreak destruction on the whole land. Wail, for the day of Yahweh is near. It will come as destruction from the Almighty, and therefore all hands will fall limp. And every man's heart will melt. They will be terrified. Pains and labor pangs will take a hold of them. They will writhe like a woman in labor. They will look at one another in astonishment, their faces aflame. Behold, the day of Yahweh is coming, cruel with fury and burning anger, to make the land a desolation, and he will exterminate its sinners from it. For the stars of heaven and their constellations will not flash forth their light. The sun will be dark when it rises, and the moon will not shed its light. Thus I will punish the world for its evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. I will also put an end to the pride of the arrogant, and bring low the lofty pride of the ruthless. I will make mortal man scarcer than fine gold, and mankind than the gold of Ophir. Therefore I will make the heavens tremble, and the earth will be shaken from its place at the fury of Yahweh of hosts, in the day of his burning anger, And it will be that like a hunted gazelle, or like sheep with no one to gather them, they will each turn to their own people, and each one flee to his own land. Anyone who is found will be pierced through, and anyone who is captured will fall by the sword. Their infants also will be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses will be plundered and their wives ravished. Behold, I am going to awaken the Medes against them, who will not think about silver or take pleasure in gold, and their bows will dash the young men to pieces. They will not even have compassion on the fruit of the womb, nor will their eye pity children. And it will be that Babylon, the beauty of kingdoms, the honor of the Chaldeans' pride, will be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It will not be inhabited or dwelt in for generation to generation. Nor will the Arab pitch his tent there, nor will shepherds make their flocks lie down there. But desert creatures will lie down there, and their houses will be full of owls. Ostriches also will dwell there, and shaggy goats will leap there, and hyenas will howl in their fortified towers, and jackals in their luxurious houses, their luxurious palaces. Her fateful time also will soon come, and her days will not be prolonged. When Yahweh will have compassion on Jacob, and again choose Israel and put them in their own land, then sojourners will join them and attach themselves to the house of Jacob. And the people will take them along and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel will possess them as an inheritance in the land of Yahweh for their male and female slaves. And they will take their captors captive and will have dominion over their taskmasters. And it will be in the day when Yahweh gives you rest from your pain and turmoil and harsh slavery in which you have been enslaved, that you will take up this taunt against the king of Babylon and say, how the taskmaster has ceased, and how the fury has ceased. Yahweh has broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of rulers, which used to strike the people in fury with increasing strokes, which had dominion over the nations in anger, with unrestrained persecution. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into shouts of joy. Even the cypress trees are glad over you, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since you were laid low, no tree cutter comes against us. Sheol from beneath trembles excitedly over you to meet you when you come. It wakens for you the spirits of the dead, all the leaders of the earth. It raises all the kings of the nations from their thrones. They will all answer and say to you, even you have been made weak as we. You have become like us. Your pride and the music of your harps have been brought down to Sheol. Maggots are spread out as your bed beneath you, and worms are your covering. How have you fallen from heaven, O star of the morning, son of the dawn? You have been cut down to the earth. You have been weakened. You have weakened the nations. But you said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit on the mount of assembly in the recesses of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. Nevertheless, you will be brought down to Sheol, to the recesses of the pit. Those who see you will gaze at you. They will carefully consider you, saying, "Is this the man who made the earth tremble, who caused kingdoms to quake, who made the world like a wilderness and pulled down its cities, who did not allow his prisoners to go home? All the kings of the nations lie in glory, each in his own place. But you have been cast out of your grave like an abhorred branch, clothed with those killed who are pierced with the sword, who go down to the stones of the pit like a trampled corpse. You will not be united with them in burial, because you have ruined your country. You have killed your people. May the seed of evildoers not be called upon forever. Prepare for his sons a place of slaughter because of the iniquity of their fathers. They must not arise and take possession of the earth and fill the face of the world with cities. I will rise up against them, declares Yahweh of hosts, and will cut off from Babylon name and remnant, offspring and posterity, declares Yahweh. I will also make it a possession for the hedgehog and swamps of water, and I will sweep it with the broom of destruction, declares Yahweh of hosts. Yahweh of hosts has sworn, saying, "Surely, just as I have intended, so it has happened, and just as I have counseled, so it will stand, to break Assyria in my hand, and I will trod him down on my mountains. Then his yoke will be removed from them, and his burden removed from their shoulder." This is the counsel that is counseled against the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out against all of the nations. For Yahweh of hosts has counseled, and who can thwart it? And as for his stretched out hand, who can turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died, this oracle came. Do not be glad, O Philistia, all of you, because the rod that struck you is broken. For from the serpent's root a viper will come out, and its fruit will be a flying, fiery serpent. And the foremost of the poor will eat, and the needy will lie down in security. I will put to death your root with famine, and I will kill off your remnant. Wail, O gate, cry, O city. Melt away, O Philistia, all of you. For smoke comes from the north, and there is no straggler in his ranks. How then will one answer the messengers of the north? Then that Yahweh has founded Zion, and the afflicted of his people will take refuge in it. The oracle concerning Moab. Surely in a night Ar of Moab is destroyed and ruined. Surely in a night Ker of Moab is destroyed and ruined. They have gone up to the temple and to Dibon, even to the high places to weep. Moab wails over Nebo and Medeba. Everyone's head is bald and every beard is cut off. In their streets they have girded themselves with sackcloth. On their rooftops and in their squares, everyone is wailing, dissolved in weeping. Heshbon and Elealeh also cry out. Excuse me. Their voice is heard all the way to Jahaz. Therefore the armed men of Moab make a loud shout. His soul trembles within him. My heart cries out for Moab. Those who flee from here are as far as Zion and Eglath Shaleshah. For they go up to the ascent of Lehuth, weeping. Surely on the road to Horonaim they weep, they keep awake, with crying in distress over their destruction. For the waters of Nimrim are desolate. Surely the grass is dried up, the tender grass has completely ceased. There is no green thing. Therefore, the abundance they have made and stored up, they carry off over the brook of Arabim. For the cry has gone around the territory of Moab. Its wailing goes as far as Eglaim, and its wailing even to Beer Elim. For the waters of Dimon are full of blood. Surely I will put added woes upon Dimon, a lion upon those of Moab who have escaped, and upon the remnant of the land. Send the tribute lamb to the ruler of the land from Selah, may by way of the wilderness, to the mountain of the daughter of Zion. Then, like fleeing birds or scattered nestlings, the daughters of Moab will be at the fords of the Arnon. Bring out us counsel, make a decision, cast your shadow like night at high noon. Hide those banished, do not reveal the one who flees. Lest the banished of Moab sojourn with you. Be a hiding place to them from the destroyer. For the extortioner has come to an end. Destruction has ceased. Oppressors have completely disappeared from the land, and a throne will be established in loving kindness, and a judge will sit on it in truth, in the tent of David. Moreover, he will seek justice and be prompt in righteousness. We have heard of the pride of Moab, an excessive pride, even of his lofty pride, pride and fury. His idle boasts are false. Therefore Moab will wail. Every one of Moab will wail. You will moan for the raisin cakes of Ker Harasheth, as those who are utterly stricken. For the fields of Heshbon have languished, the vines of Sibmah as well. The lords of the nations have trampled down its choice clusters, which reached as far as Jazer and wandered to the deserts. Its tendrils spread themselves out and passed over the sea. Therefore I will weep bitterly for Jazer, for the vine of Sibmah. I will drench you with my tears, O Heshbon, and Elialah, for the shouting over your summer fruits, and your harvest has fallen away. Gladness and joy are taken away from the fruitful orchard. In the vineyards also there will be no cry of joy or shouts of jubilation. No treader treads out wine in the presses. For I have made the shouting cease. Therefore my inner being moans like a harp for Moab, and my inward feelings for Ker Harasheth. So it will be when Moab appears, when he wearies himself upon his high place and comes to his sanctuary to pray, that he will not prevail. This is the word which Yahweh spoke earlier concerning Moab. But now Yahweh speaks, saying, within 3 years, as a hired man would count them, the glory of Moab will be dishonored along with all of his great population, and his remnant will be very small and not mighty. The oracle concerning Damascus. Behold, Damascus is about to be removed from being a city and will become a fallen ruin. The cities of Aurora are shaken. They will be for flocks, and they will lie down in them, and there will be no one to cause them to tremble. And the fortified city will cease from Ephraim, and sovereignty from Damascus, and the remnant from Aram. They will be like the glory of the sons of Israel, declares Yahweh of hosts. Now it will be in that day that the glory of Jacob will wane, and the fatness of his flesh will become lean, and it will be even like the reaper gathering the standing grain, as their arm harvests the ears of grain, or it will be like the one gleaning ears of grain in the valley of Rephaim. Yet gleanings will remain in it like the shaking of an olive tree, 2 or 3 olives on the topmost branch, excuse me, 4 or 5 on the twigs of a fruitful tree, declares Yahweh, the God of Israel. In that day, man will have regard for his Maker, and his eyes will look to the Holy One of Israel. He will not have regard for the altars, the work of his hands, nor will he look to that which his fingers have made, even the Asherim and incense stands. In that day, their strong cities will be forsaken places in the forest, or like branches which they forsook before the sons of Israel, and the land will be a desolation. For you have forgotten the God of your salvation, and have not remembered the rock of your strong defense. Therefore you plant delightful plants and set them with vine branches of a strange God. In the day that you plant it, you carefully fence it in, and in the morning you cause your seed to flourish, but the harvest will be a heap in the days of sickliness and incurable pain. Alas, the uproar of many peoples who roar like the roaring of the seas, and the rumbling of the nations who rumble on like the rumbling of mighty waters. The nations rumble on like the rumbling of many waters, but he will rebuke them, and they will flee far away and be pursued like chaff in the mountains before the wind, or like whirling dust before the whirlwind. At evening time, behold, there is terror. Before morning, they are no more. Such will be the portion of those who pillage us, and the lot of those who plunder us. And that is the end of our reading for this morning. Join us tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. for our Through the Bible in 1 Year reading. That is 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our reading tomorrow will be from Romans chapters 5 through 6. So join us then. And in the meantime, go in the knowledge and the awareness of the presence of God with you, of his great love for you, and of his Holy Spirit dwelling in you. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for the people of Israel. Pray the promises and the prophecies of Scripture over them. And pray without ceasing for whatever it is that God has called you to, whatever he has given you influence over or authority over. Pray from that place of his presence, that place of stillness and rest, where you can hear his voice and know his heart, so that you know that what you're praying is coming straight from the heart of the Father. And be blessed and be a blessing.